Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John, and I review predominantly music. If you like this kind of content, please hit subscribe, like, comment, make some suggestions on music or other things as you feel appropriate. The video today is a little different because it will show small segments of a variety of videos. And this really is to commemorate someone called Arthur Hendrickson, or Gaps as he was known. He died recently from cancer, unfortunately. And I want to try and celebrate the music that he and Pauline Black in the band Selector brought to us. So there's going to be a lot of changes, and I'm not a person who does fancy video cuts and various things. It's just as it is. But let's start with, first of all, the 1979, 1980, I think, first appearance on Top of the Pops, which was a UK music programme once a week. And this was their first hit single called On My Radio by the Selector. So this is when they first broke musically, and certainly in Britain. So I'll play a few tracks, and we'll talk a little bit about what was happening at the time and in England and what this music brought. Here's another recording. We'll play this. Okay, the reason I'm only showing short snippets is really just within the rules of fair use of copyright. Obviously, these are not my videos. This one that you've just seen is from, as you can see on the screen in small writing, it is from 1980. It was a session, another big song of theirs called Too Much Pressure. Gaps, as he was known, was originally from St. Kitts in the Caribbean, and he moved to the UK. He spent a lot of time with his grandparents back in St. Kitts, and then joined his parents in the UK. He moved and lived and started music, really joining with Pauline Black in the late 70s in Coventry, and they formed the band The Selector. Became part of what was known as the two-tone scene, and it was really about ska reggae music, and it was a huge scene in the UK at the time, and lots of bands were part of that scene. There was the Specials, who were very well known, Bad Manners, The Beat. It was a mix of ska reggae music, but with an energy that was influenced by punk rock, which had come a few years before it, and also a little bit by, I guess, some of the what we would call the new wave music. I'm now going to show another short section of a video. This was live in 1980. I think there might be a little bit of swearing in this one, so if you're a little bit sensitive, please stop now, but just be aware that it's coming.
Right, who here gets up at 7 o'clock in the morning? Do you work in factories? Yeah, right. Are you ever 3 minutes late? Right, you'll like this one then. 3 Minute Hero!
The late 1970s, the early 80s were some difficult times in Britain, socially, economically, and culturally. There was a lot of right-wing groups, and I've talked about this in a previous video that I did about Linton Kwesi Johnson. There was a lot of right-wing fascist groups in Britain. But one of the things that two-tone music did, and the bringing of the ska music, and you can see it in this short segment, is it brought together everybody. Age, gender, race, colour, it didn't matter. It was there to be enjoyed. And it was a true reflection, I think, of what Britain was about. It was celebrating the multicultural society that people enjoyed and the music of that. And this ska music through the two-tone groups reflected that energy that people had. The short section you just seen was from 1980, recorded in a place in the south of England called Hemel Hempstead. Now, the next one I want to show is, and this really is to emphasise how this music has endured, still excites people, still people want to listen to it and to see the bands. But the energy and the enjoyment, as you can see from the crowd in this clip that you've just seen, it just remains. This was a session, this next one is a session that was promoted by the BBC in Scotland, where I think I can't remember what year it was, I think it was about 2017, where they played.
All those people who still have some feeling in their legs can skank to this one, because this one's called On My Radio.
They put together a great group of musicians, and the playing here is just amazing. As I say, this was 2017, so from 1980, that's a long time for this music still to be enjoyed and people wanting to listen to it, and for them to be playing it and singing it with such enthusiasm. Just coming back to Gaps, here's a little snippet where it just kind of shows that he was a cool dude. called Walk the Walk. I just wanted to show that clip. It just showed he was a cool guy. The next clip, again, I'm just trying to think when it was from. Again, this is 2017. This was the other big single that we covered from in one of the early clips called Too Much Pressure. This was a live session again in 2017.
While we're in the mood to sing along, we must remember we are all under too much pressure. Everybody sing. Too much pressure. Come again, come again, come again. Hey. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. This pressure's got to stop. It's too much pressure. It's getting to my head. Too much pressure. They're giving me hard time. Too much pressure. Me woman decide. Too much pressure. Treat that don't make me look small. It's too much pressure. End up with no money. It's too much pressure. Me can't barely say more day. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. It's too much pressure. They're crumbling on me woman.
I think again, you can just see the crowd here just enjoying this music so much. It is incredible. You cannot fail to move to this kind of ska rhythm with that classic, what was known as a walking bass line, the syncopation sort of offbeat of the guitar and the drums that was often used. Ska originated in Jamaica, I think in the late 50s, early 60s. There was a lot of influences that brought it, but it was very characteristic, and it's had many revivals. First of all, in its original forms with people like Prince Buster and so forth from the sort of 60s. Ska came to the UK with the big two-tone at the end of the 70s and the 80s. There were other interests in ska in places like, unusually in places like Italy, and even in America. I think ska again interested people and got them moving. But the two-tone sound, with the energy that it brought to ska music, came from England, and was just fantastic. I'm going to play one more, and this is a classic, really, for Gaps.
James Bond. License to kill. Meditate or spill. James Bond. James Bond.
So that song was a great song for Gaps. And I think it's important and it's nice that we celebrate him and the music he brought us with the band The Selector over many, many years. This last clip actually was from a gig in 2016, I think. And it was actually in a place called Pomona, which I understand is near Los Angeles in California. So even two-tone was spread to America, as I said. What else is there to say? It's sad that, again, music has lost, I think, one of its pioneers, someone who was different and just brought us so much pleasure in the music. I hope you enjoyed these clips. I'm going to put all the links in the description, just so if you want to watch them in full, which I would recommend you do, or pick the ones that you like and watch those. It's very sad. But thank you, Gaps. I hope you enjoyed this. I'll catch you on the next one. Thank you so much.